Ellie.
And I'm Charlotte, and we run a wedding boutique.
Today we're going to talk to you about how to plan your wedding.
If you're thinking about planning a garden wedding, first of all you need to decide what kind of atmosphere and vibe you want to create. You're going to be needing a marquee of some sort, because you need somewhere for your guests to eat, the caterers to set up, etc., and to protect them from certain weather elements. So I think the three main options of a garden is very, very contemporary, so that can be very clean. The centerpieces are quite compact and bijou. All the cutlery's clean, the food's contemporary. Yeah, very clean. Or you can go more for the sort of English country garden, so you can have like a tea party, old china. Or you can go for the very 1920s fete kind of feel, which is actually what we organised last year for Ellie's wedding.
So we sort of embraced the whole 1920s fete. So we had an old style marquee, and again I think that's quite important to decide what sort of style of marquee that you want. So we had a sort of 1920s old canvas marquee
With the wooden poles as opposed to all the lining and...
Yeah, and so then we had trestle tables, and we just found some of this amazing tablecloth, white clean tablecloth, so that actually became the centerpiece for all the different tables. So rather than having sort of like a code for the tables, we had a colour, so each table was a different colour, and then we made loads of bunting. Charlotte? So we put this all the way around the marquee, all the way in the garden, so we had metres and metres of it. So this really sort of created the whole atmosphere. As soon as people walked into the reception, they were greeted with colour and bunting, and they could see the sort of marquee in the distance. And then you've got to think about centerpieces. Obviously, because it's sort of a fete style, you don't want the centerpieces to be too over the top. So we just had little jam jars with hand-picked flowers. And again, we sort of did everything ourselves. So you don't actually need to spend that much money when trying to create this sort of, having a garden wedding, because it is all about sort of being outside in the outdoors and sort of embracing that. And just little things like having mustard on the table, so everything's very sort of quintessentially English. And then think about what sort of food options that you want.
Yeah, we thought about food, we thought about the drinks, you need to also, there was champagne, there was lots of bubbles. You can have Pimm's and lemonade. We had traditional lemonade for the children. So again, reflecting the theme. And for food, we wanted to embrace the fete style. So we had a hog roast, and it was absolutely delicious. So you had a buffet style food, but everyone helped themselves. You had to queue up.
So everything was a lot more relaxed. And again, what you were saying about sort of, catering for the children as well. We had a coconut shy. So actually, that sort of period of the 2 hours when all the photographs were being taken in the champagne reception, the kids get really bored. So actually having a little activity for them to do entertains them, keeps the adults happy, and sort of makes the whole thing sort of feel more like a fete.
Yep, and that's how you plan a garden wedding.